don't know how long this is going to go on for. I can only go until 6 p.m. my time.
Neutral follows.
I watched you play Dragon Ball Z the other day for a bit.
Oh my god, Sparking's...
Are they all prepping for actual matches? Not a lot of Alright, these are the only guys that are actually playing matches right now. Flayon's interesting. I was going to use clips from his matches to illustrate some points in my next autistic guide video. Talking about, like, some of the most fundamental, like, the simplest mistakes to correct that will improve your gameplay. And this guy is fucking... Okay, so obviously the most impressive player is Asa. This guy is fucked up. This guy has got the most cracked out mental stack I've seen a new player that is, like, not a seasoned fighting game competitor. His weakest point, like, if he just practiced, like, execution and, you know, had some basic offense and basic, like, tight offense structure and combos, then he would instantly be master rank. In fact, I'm sure he can probably reach master rank right now if he just grinds it out. Exactly how he's been going for, like, I don't know, another couple days.
Interested in playing the game and getting in there.
Oh,
and,
are they actively?
Fairlight on
God damn it.
modern Luke, by the way, which I think is a pretty common choice this slam, actually.
I didn't watch a ton of Shimimi's matches, and I watched almost nothing from Fairlight. He was having trouble anti-airing the last time I saw him and some of the other, like, below plat Luke players, understandably.
Can even get them to start. Oh, I like that. Whether the coaches can even start to get them to, like, bait the amnesia out and then get punishes and stuff like that, it might be difficult.
Did they switch Asa around to be higher seed than who else? Who was the other person they were gonna swap him with? The Manon player. Why am I'm always fucking blank on people's names.
Oh my, that's big. Nice, solid damage. Oh my god, please help.
An interesting part about this these events is that, like,
Having some real problems here.
okay, one thing is funny. I don't know that I saw... I know that Punk was supposed to be, or is, one of the guest coaches. Every time I glanced and looked, I never saw... Whenever I was watching people streaming, I never saw Punk in a room with people coaching, so I don't know. I actually don't know if that actually happened or not. One of the interesting things about this setup is that... Okay, one interesting thing, and I don't think that anyone actually tells them to do this, other than the fact that I know that to start the slam, they are told, like, hey, you have to stream the game a little bit, you have to stream the game, you have to play some rank so we can see where you're at. That's, like, the first thing that they're told to do, but I don't think that they're told specifically how they need to train or given any necessarily direction after that point, other than what they decide to do and what the coaches and whatever the other players on their team tell them. Advise them to do. But the interesting thing is that, like, for example, Asa would just constantly play, Asa would just constantly play ranked matches and was not, every time I watched him streaming, he was not doing a ton of, like, practicing in the lab, which is, like, the main thing that he was needed to work on at that point. And generally speaking, I don't think that any of the coaches or anyone really knows how to teach a player how to train themselves, right? That like the coaches can come in and, like, solve particular issues that are most glaring about their play, like, hey, you need to add this, hey, this would be, like, the biggest benefit to you, etc. But, like, no one sat down and told a player like Asa, like, this is how you use the lab to your advantage. This is how you set things up so that you can learn and practice until you can iron out the execution for these things or make these discoveries, right? there's a huge difference. There's a huge difference between like telling a player what the answer is, what like the correct powerful decision is, versus teaching them how to understand the lab work, how to understand the options they have in the lab so that they can discover that themselves through just experimenting and logic. I didn't see fucking Robbie. I don't know if he's streaming on Twitch or on YouTube.
She just does heavy spin because I think it's like the easiest thing to do without worrying about anything, and it works on juggle. So she tends to DI a lot, as most new players do. And
All right, how's this going?
A lot on accident, and it works on airborne hit and ground hit. So her combo like covers air DI and ground DI, and she like does not blow. She like always hits.
It's a great approach. Maybe she figured this out on her own, but when you can cover various options without the player really understanding that.
Another thing is, it's just like, especially in the short term of just a couple of weeks or even, yeah, mainly just a couple of days or a couple of weeks, people's personality types really affect like how much you can even teach them. So this is one place where I'm very sympathetic to like the coach's abilities to do anything, because some players like are not of the mindset or attitude that they can they can stop and then just focus on doing the thing that they are told to. And then even then, like I said, it's difficult because you kind of want to help people be able to help themselves, because not just because it's the right thing to do, they'll need it long term or whatever, they'll need to be able to use the lab and figure out things and optimize and figure out punishes to stuff and come up with new tools and whatever to implement long term, but also just because players need to, this is my experience. I've got a buddy of mine from college who is really quite strong in Tekken. I think he's gotten stronger over the years, and he is, I believe, has a sponsor and is on a team or whatever in Tekken 8 right now. He's very strong in Tekken. He will try other fighting games and then like give up on them in a very, very short period of time. And I understand. I'm kind of the same way. But like what I would say about his personality type is that he's coming into these things.
The one button DP on the headbutt was clean.
Hey, yes, did you see that? Sure, you can go on Twitter and say, but it's modern. But the awareness, it still requires reaction to see the headbutt and to uppercut.
Anyways, sorry. What I would say about these things is that
the offense too. She's really good at just meeting
players who come into a game, they don't know all of the data, they don't know how everything works, they don't know like the specifics of the systems and the meta of what those systems yield, like the logic of how that affects how you play the game. And so you can kind of tell them how things work, like, this is good, do this, do that. But if they don't understand intuitively to the point that they can come to those conclusions themselves, they also won't be able to create anything themselves, which means that they will do the things that you tell them to, and then if they do that like a couple of times in a row and they don't know how to create the next step, they don't know how to like take what you already told them and be like, okay, what do I do next? And then so they end up just doing the same thing over and over, and then they get frustrated and bored with that scenario. Like players have to be players of a certain disposition have to be able to create their own tech. They have to be able to create their own ideas, and the only way that happens is through understanding how to use the lab and understanding how to invent things using the mechanics. But the problem is that it's very hard to teach people that, because like getting someone enough of an understanding of the game to be able to create their own tech, even if it's bad tech, right? Like people have fun making tech, and they're like proud of their tech, and they like implementing into their game plan, even if the tech is objectively fucking shitty and like doesn't actually make sense to do over what they were already doing. But like they like players want to be able to implement their own things. They want to be able to feel like they are growing of their own volition. They are discovering. They are expanding their repertoire.
played lately is people kind of just back up, wait for their drive gauge to recover, and then they'll buffer a button into their drive gauge. But Honda has a hard time
More. I can't remember what rank Amore was the last time I was watching.
have a headbutt charge.
Yeah.
And his normals,
It was a sick DP.
they seem like they have good range, and they do, but oftentimes not enough to like poke at them. There's no low forward drive rush with Honda.
Yeah, I think he's like a character where when your opponent doesn't answer the problems you're putting in front of them, he feels like the best. But when they do, it feels like it's kind of out of your hands almost. You know what I mean? Like it feels like, well, I'm doing Honda's best stuff, and like I sort of did that, and like it didn't work, and I don't know what else I'm gonna do. Right? Like that's kind of the feeling I have when I played him.
And I really like how Mogu is checking the headbutts with the chain combo. That might even beat the OD headbutt. I'm not sure, but there's like a studied response to the way that Amore is doing headbutt.
I like
It's
it
either
too.
an uppercut, or they block it and they check it with the chain combo.
Yeah, and light kick from Ed is pretty fast too. It's a good check. It should cover basically whatever mash Moore would want to try after. Besides the X, like
Wow, someone still hasn't died here.
that could be a problem.
Damn.
Wow, what is that?
And what a jump in from Moore. She's starting to solve it. You can see some shades of maybe some shades of hope. I have a feeling her coaches were telling her, all right, you have the life lead. You can back up for a little bit. Let them come to you.
Yeah, I'm sure, definitely. Because I think playing it slow in Honda and this kind of a thing when you have a lead is a good idea. Those fireballs don't really matter that much in this game because of no chip.
Yeah, and the fireballs can matter if you're able to.
I gotta say, Amore is
the drive gauge, so chip away their drive
makes
gauge,
really good use of the ease of the auto combos.
But in this sort of situation, it's more of a
Honda has pretty good. Modern Honda has pretty good auto combos for that.
Waiting it out, going for parries and stuff.
Heavy is
that's
very
great.
confirmable,
DI, when
and it's
you're
actually a
doing
decent
that,
combo.
It's always so hard to deal with. It's like it jump scares your hands a lot of times.
Ooh, the long distance headbutt gives you too much time to react with the modern uppercut.
Yeah, both on modern here too. So like they have access to that kind of stuff. Oh, that could have been double drive rush kill from Mogu there almost. She might actually end up being able to kill with no meter here because of it. Drive impact is
I haven't watched Mogu that
scary
much.
fun.
Mogu looks
I
pretty
mean,
good
No, it's
for
just thinking about it.
Plat 1.
Nice.
I think there's a conversation in your chat about how good the play.
Asa, watch this fucking freakazoid. Watch this goddamn animal.
But it's always surprising how quickly some players just adapt and get good at the game.
Yeah, and one thing that's like, you have to remember these players, maybe some of them are similar skill to like you or other new people when they started, and you're like, how did they get to this level so fast? I mean, they have a dedicated coach, and this is like what they're doing, you know, for the time being. So
Asa has like no combos and like incredibly good mental stack and reactions.
Hit confirm off of the top.
He generally has pretty applicable
that's
tech, etc.
really just put in your bones because
His close range defense
it's going on block. You should just do it.
it is mainly suffers from the fact that he doesn't have any combos or links from crouch jab.
I need to learn some of these modern combos with Honda. My combo, I got
And his anti-airs have been so good that he hasn't been forced to do like close range defense as much
And then there's one guy
that
really loved Honda.
he doesn't like block things out that much. His approach to mix-ups
I felt like
is actually like really layered,
I was like,
particularly. Yeah, see, the only thing he's missing is like fucking basic combos. But his fireball game is really good, his anti-airs are ridiculous, and his general approach to neutral is like pretty all-encompassing.
see the adaptation in real time.
Like, he doesn't engage with the pure footsies as much. He doesn't like walk up heavy punch drive rush that much yet, but
sitting on full screen, pairing fireballs,
yeah, he understands the rotation between jumps, fireball,
light pressure,
back game, and
Jump heavy punch.
raw drive rush, crouch strong, whatever.
Need none of that. Just keep it solid.
Keep it simple, stupid, right? That's the acronym. You just gotta keep it simple, like nothing too fancy, really solid, and what a good adjustment from Amore.
Sounds like one of those yearbook quotes people put.
One of the funny things about Asa is that I feel like he could have used some guidance from the coaches more so than some of the other players because
Just every single time.
like, you know, he needed some help with some of the lab work and things that he was struggling with.
Run away with it. This target
But
combo from
the other thing is that he's clearly so good and so solid already that
Oh,
it's
Wonka.
kind of pointless to help him out.
Doesn't spend the level 3. I
He
love
literally
the
changed.
by the way, very smart.
yeah, when you're this far ahead, I think saving the lead is good.
Yeah. Maybe
Amore's
a kill rush up
brought
to
it
level
back.
1 would have been good, but like, you know, that's a little optimization that you can figure out later.
Moore's on the offense now. Neutral, she's starting to move forward.
I like
Oh
it.
my god, this is it.
Final game, final round between these two, just like that.
Full stocked, full take a guess. Who's gonna spend it? Where we go?
Tech.
And that Honda modern auto combo for the heavy is the heavy kick, which she's been confirming into quite a bit. Wow, crushing medium punch drive rush, and I love that she's just light, take the throw, mix up afterwards.
I gotta research. What is it? What's his advantage after that target combo? Because I'm pretty sure he's plus.
Yeah, I think it's +2, which is why the throw mix up has been so.
What? It's +1.
And,
Unless it got buffed and I forgot. Ed's target combo is not +2.
Yeah, this is very good against Honda. Honda is not good against throws. Maybe a super good DI is gonna seal it. Just close out this combo level 3. That's it.
Nicely done. So Mogu putting it up 2-0 for Team China already. I'm honestly very impressed. I thought Amora
See?
might have the best.
He's literally shimmying already. He like started this game last week.
Mogu surprising me very early on.
And he has no combos.
That was a really close bet. That could have gone either way. And the fun thing that
I will say, like, Asa is so funny to me because, okay, one, it obviously helps a lot that he's in Modern. It helps his ability to do all this shit. But, like, two, his basic instincts for
Should be a topic of discussion. In
rotating his options, doing different mix-ups, etc.
But I feel like the answer's gonna be sometimes you gotta do
Like,
a little
I would normally tell new players, like, hey, one of the easiest things that you can do is just get high damaging combos and whatever. It's hard to be ready to react to everything. It's hard to anti-air everything. It's hard to counter DI all the time, etc. And whereas he is so good at that, he is so good in not just regular neutral, but in all sorts of situations. He's one of the only players that I've seen that, like, started playing, like, a week or two ago and actually anti-airs after he does whiff throw when they neutral jump. Like, people don't get used to doing that for quite a while, usually.
third hit, I think, is +2. But the other thing is Amor did punish it when she blocked the last hit. It is unsafe on the third hit, which is important. The second hit is safe.
I should pull up my chat.
Robbie Rotten. Many
I have no
of you
idea.
know him as Justin Briner, the voice of Deku from My Hero Academia. He's a pretty well.
No, nobody's fucking watching.
And
Yeah,
his
I don't care.
master rank, he's
All right.
master rank on Manon.
Oh, are they
Very
watching
solid.
Robbie?
On the other side, we have
Okay.
Curious Joy. I'm sure a lot of you have seen her. She's a Capcom creator. She's really awesome. She's done some hosting for things like the Game Awards, and she's really solid. She's really good at this game. I think very likely to hit master with a little bit more work. Like
Curious Joy, I was watching a little bit, a couple of her matches. A little passive, and her approach often lends into, like,
basically, yeah, there is a lot.
forward jumping and dive kicking it around the same space a lot of the time.
The main thing.
Yeah, I think her cameo is really solid. She's very impressive. When I was watching her play, I
Other
thought
than
she
that,
was
there's a
the
couple,
strongest player
like,
in this division.
mistakes and inconsistencies, but
Really solid,
yeah, she should be fine to hit
clean, and I
master.
think one of those
No
players that,
problem.
like, with a little bit of work, she's master and climbing pretty quickly. You know. Oh, I love the delayed dive kick idea too.
Interesting delay dive kick. Was successful, but again, small mistake, drop.
Fuzzies against Manon. In this sort of level of play, it can seem like Manon has better buttons because that heavy kick has so much range, buffering the down medium punch. And if you don't know how to address it as camp,
That's tragic.
it might seem like Manon wins this matchup in the neutral.
Yeah, the mid range, I think especially against Manon, like the mid range with that heavy kick is really obnoxious until you have like a good plan for it. Oh, and this is high metal Manon. Command grab is death here. Oh no.
Beautiful. Beautiful spacing.
Spacing on that was brutal. I love the back heavy punch weight.
All right.
Just to see, you know.
Absolutely, man. That was devastating.
I had barely watched Coney. Well, because every time I was online and I saw Coney was streaming, he was doing something else.
What button you could hit next? These dive kicks are a bit high. It's gonna be harder to get the advantage if they block them.
One thing I really like so far is that she's clearly playing a pretty reactionary game. Nice air to air. Last time too, she tried to DP the way she lost the last round. She tried to DP anti-air a jump and then it got blocked and then she lost, right? So like that kind of like snowballed the whole round. But she's react blocked like every overhead from Manon so far, which has been very impressive. And she is trying to play. Yeah, look at that. I mean, and she is trying to play reactionary and like anti-air these jumps. So I think she's got the right idea. She's pretty close to like the right solution, I think, in this matchup.
Oh, maybe we see some offense coming from Curious Joy.
Nice
The driving
punish.
looking pretty healthy.
Holy wait, that punish counter crouch jab stand heavy punch, that was really good.
Got the moves.
I feel like they're talking about these players as if they're like
Joy is really solid.
platinum or very low diamond. They're like, wow, you did a punish counter combo? That's crazy.
When I first started watching her VODs, the first thing I noticed is how good she is at throwing
Yeah.
skill to have.
Yeah, I haven't seen Robbie play that much, but
Yeah, her
this was kind of what I saw from whenever I tapped into Curious Joy's streams. I was like, it's a little too passive in that, like, if the opponent doesn't give her the stuff to counter in the ways that she's looking for, she's not creating her own offense that often. There we go.
That gets everybody. Don't worry. That hits.
Could have closed it out with a level 1, but
There's no escaping.
that's definitely a pedantic asshole
That's what I needed to see.
aspect.
One of those moves where you're like, keep doing
Bacon, Skara. Wait, Skara is still considered higher seed than Asa?
Because Manon, she has the invincible like forcible back kick that can deal with anti-air as well. But just as like a reactionary thing, it's tough to have on the brain. And if you're thinking about that, it might open up some more opportunities in neutral.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, people talk about Cammy Hooligan like it's not good, but it's definitely a pretty solid.
All right.
in a lot, especially
Well,
the
I've already had an opinion of a lot of these players so far. I have not seen Robbie play that much, so.
Often see it because just her ground game is so oppressive. You don't really see it. Bro, just
He's pretty good at diversifying his button choices. I like that forward dash.
that shut me up real quick.
Yeah, I mean, my bad, my fault. If you're not, why DP anti-air when you can just air throw? Wow, dude, her neutral. I feel like I would lose.
Yeah,
Neutral.
his neutral's good. That was clearly a mistake.
I don't know if I could hit her. She looks so
Both
solid.
players. Lots of drive gauge. Oh, here comes the corner. Robbie Rotten. Oh, the uppercut.
Nice.
Not good.
Bad punish. Could have killed.
Attacked.
Could have won.
Oh, just enough. Even the lay on the knockdown just to bait the uppercut.
Yeah,
and they-
Robbie looks good.
Who is this Robbie Rotten? Why are they so good?
Very solid for sure. Oh, I love that.
Fascinating.
Idea. Just try to anti-air back medium punch. I think that the jump-ins have been a big problem in this matchup for Joy so far. Like if I was thinking about this for as the coach, that seems like the problem is dealing with the Manon jumps. Her jump heavy kick is very good, right? So
Yeah, the Manon jumps. There was a moment where Curious Joy did back medium clicks to anti-air,
Alright.
but Robbie Rotten did it.
I gotta say, Robbie's, like,
is this how it's
Raw gameplay looks much better, except for the fact that he sometimes
burnout too.
is doing this shit that's getting him killed.
Is there a bait on the DP? That's the real question. Yeah, bait on the level 1 or level 2 or level 3 or something, and Joy's playing it. You can see the buffer though. She's thinking about it. Oh my, not
That was interesting.
Wow. They've been doing jump in, light
Yeah,
up,
he's not ready to EX Rond anti-air a lot of these jumps.
Yeah.
At the very least, he
Play that game, man.
probably should have been prepared to do so after the neutral jump, because he's not really teching
I'm very
either.
impressed watching him.
You know, like, she keeps neutral jumping, he's not teching, but he's also not anti-airing after the neutral jumps.
Oh, he's fighting. There
That's
was
why he's losing a lot of these situations. But I think it's more about the clear errors than
possibly she's
anything
trying to
else.
beat anti-air, like to get them to down heavy punch.
Yeah.
And then it whips the dive kick hits. So there might be some special tactics there.
I think that's the idea, probably. I think you're right. Like the idea is to try to like bait something out, but unless you see it, I think you just do the regular dive kick.
These are not top seeds. These are like third seeds, right? Including the one that Sajam is watching with Master Rank.
Yeah, I think so. It's one of those things that can come
Robbie Rotten.
like, well,
There's a light confirms looking for it.
His footsies look so good. Like, yeah, he's got no anti-airs and he sometimes kills himself, but
back heavy kick,
Nobody does that.
back heavy kick, or standing heavy kick in a drill, even like what? Huh?
I've never. Maybe I'm being biased. I've never seen a Cammy player do that.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, it's cool to see. Like, I love watching new players play fighting games because I almost always see things that I've never seen in my life. I'm like, what? Oh, nice punish too. Awareness right there from Robbie. I love that Robbie on offense like defaults to like dash block.
see, the funny, I think he didn't do heavy strength of command grab because it was reversal, but it wasn't punish counter. Even if Cammy's drive reversal hits at a later active frame, which it can at certain ranges, it should still be -5. And hers leaves her physical body closer than some other players, some other characters' drive reversals, so heavy command grab should work every time.
You can, man, I love, man. You ever like have no health and then you play out of your mind? Like you play better when you have no health. That's what it feels like in these matches where the rounds are about like this is a set point for Robbie Rotten, and you can see the change in just temperature.
Wow.
In the overall.
It was a nice pickup
Yeah,
at that range.
definitely. Okay, this is it. This is the time, right? I mean, it always feels like if you could play that way all the time, you'd be like the greatest player ever.
Pretty much this entire match has just been neither player being able to anti-air anything, and they just, like,
I don't know.
sit back and jump, or like he's trying to approach with footsies. She just walks backwards and then jumps, and then neither one can deal with it.
Value level 3. This is good, but the drive gauge very low. Maybe like a bars would change. But Curious Joe, she has all of the drive gauge. So this is the time to start working the low for a driver. Start punishing their drive gauge.
This is where I think like she needs to turn on the offense a little bit, but I don't know if it's in her report, right? She might just slow it down.
Where were these players at before the slam started? I would imagine that some of the people who were like mid or to diamond or mid to low diamond didn't really move that much after they started. I'm kind of curious at how much time the coaches spent with these players that are like, because the thing is about like a new player, you like a coach, like speaking from my own personal experience, like I feel like coaches are biased to help newer players, partially because, well, like obviously, like, you know, newer players need more help because they're obviously weaker, but also newer players have the greatest capacity to rapidly improve, whereas I think that like players who have been stationary in their rank for a long time, or at least like a decently long time, like if you've been stuck in diamond for like half a month or something, you're probably pretty stationary and you probably need some coaching to be able to get to the next level. So I'm just curious as to what the coach's perspective was on where they divided their time.
Yeah, it's like he's such an awesome player because you almost never have to tell a Honda player, hey, can you just like go ham? But like he just won't go ham. Like he's just so like solid. You're just like, dude.
I need a chat room to just
These two are training all the time.
to give him a little.
Wait, is this actually a match as part of the slam, or are they just practicing?
Him about it, and I was like, I feel like you should
No, this is a match.
almost if you're this solid. Like not to say that you have to go ham, but like I feel like the way he likes to play on a character that is like better suited to play that way, I think would almost be good. Like, he's really 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 good. He's also in the same division that we just watched.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
Part of the reason why I picked up Honda was because I was seeing Moore and Perq playing Honda, and Honda is such, in my opinion, an underdeveloped character.
He's won that one.
I play against Alter David. He plays modern Honda, and he does stuff that no other Honda I've never seen him do ever.
Nice walk up.
I think that there's
I really thought he wasn't going to be in range for that throw.
out there that are real good, that like believe in the character or like don't think he's terrible, like a lot of people said for a long time. But you just rarely see it. He's not a character picked up by a lot of like super like top players to like develop.
Nice.
But there's plenty of good players who do develop him, and he has some cool stuff out there. Especially in each patch, he gets a little bit more. It seems like, right?
Yeah, the modern Honda, you can do level 2 without losing your charge, so it's actually really like not only can you do it faster, you don't release the back direction, so you can level 2 against fireballs all over the place. And my PC just crashed again, so I'll just be commenting like I can see the game.
I'll hold it down for you while I wait. Huntra's back at 1600 MR. It seems like
This is interesting to me. I really thought PDX was
played in the last slam. They're
playing Rashid the whole time, but
matchup that they have both played. And Coefficient had beaten Huntress. I think they went 1-1 is my memory from the round robin, unless I'm wrong. Wow, bait and punish.
Nice punish from that drive reversal.
Oh, air legs to call it out. Oh, missed the spinning bird kick though.
Huntress is fucking broken. Huntress is fucked up.
Big block. Okay, I like the defensive choices. We've seen Huntress like kind of made some bold reads on defense, and it actually is still paying off. Side swap here. Nice. Man, Huntress. Solid Chun-Li stuff. Oh, that's huge. That burnout is really, really big here now. Oh, but a drop combo from Ko. And where is going to be the level 2 or the reverse?
He shouldn't have been spending all that fucking time playing Zangief.
Saves the bar. No bait there from Ko.
Yeah, Aki, when their opponent is in burnout, she's one of the best in the business at just continuing to pressure and apply chip and threaten throws and command grabs. She's so good in burnout.
And this kind of character I think is very good for Ko, right? He has an anime background, so like he's pretty, comfortable with characters that are like kind of tricky. They get mix-ups like
Beautiful. Fuck me.
Combo, though. I love the reset idea, and he could have killed if he hit the combo.
Yeah, I just saw it. Drive rush overhead. And sometimes people do that because the combo otherwise wouldn't kill, but the reset would, and they're loaded up at that level 3. But it didn't quite work out. They're one round ahead though, so they still have a lot of room to still win this round.
I love this spacing in the corner here from Huntress. I think she is. Oh, this should be big. See if you can get the completion this time. There it is, easy peasy. One thing about that Aki combo too is that heavy lash is forward circle forward heavy punch, and her level 3 is. double core circle forward heavy punch. So you kind of just like mash it out. It's a pretty easy confirm.
I always love when
Teaching some new
Luke players are implementing
Do you recall how these matchups went?
uncanceled stand heavy punch. Like it doesn't necessarily make sense,
Ko on
but
the first day and lost to him on the second. In my memory,
it's a very
between the two of them.
charming
But I
poke.
could be wrong. I think they were one. So I think her only loss on the first day was Infernosity.
Yeah, all of the anchors in the previous slam were so tough. It was hard to know how things.
A
would
great
go
jump
one
out.
way or the other.
Not
I
converted
just
very
made
well,
the
but
same here.
Yeah, this is a rough spot though. Cornered already. She tried to wiggle out of there because she didn't want to lose her drive gauge.
Koi has higher
Out of the
MR than I thought he
drive
would.
Gauge, baits a drive reversal.
I only say that because I got a buddy I train with all the time who I think is
Punchers from the last slam
quite a bit
were
stronger
so
than
willing
Koi,
to
and
maybe get out of her
he's
comfort zone.
pretty much the same MR.
Pressing buttons when you're minus, when you're plus, and neutral, hit toward medium punch, drive rush with it. You gotta force plays to prevent them from making plays sometimes.
Yeah, I think she's been a little bit more scrappy, which
Yeah.
I think is important, right? You sometimes need to be that scrappy decision maker on offense where you make things happen. And even when you're minus,
Oof, that sucks.
drive rush overhead pushed Ko onto the fireball. And Chun in this version got some nice changes, right? She has she lost some stuff in the patch before, but she has the spinning bird for extra damage on a lot of her confirms, which is really nice.
Corner is gonna be the end of coefficient.
Okay.
Bro.
Yep, that'll happen.
Oh, what a walk up medium. Amazing.
Yeah, her offense in the corner has looked way better than I even remember it being in the last line, you know. She just looks really comfortable. And so does Ko. I really think that he's someone who is like a really solid player who can do all kinds of tricky, nasty stuff to you if he gets a chance. Oh, I like the perfect
Sick.
parry there.
Reminded of the previous.
Could have been a
match.
crouch
How
fierce
punches
punish,
sometimes
but
really, it's really impressive the amount of changes they made to the gameplay. The coefficient is technically in the driver's. They're up one match, and this round is heavily in their favor currently.
And sitting on all that meter, it's a one-hit kill here now for coefficient, so you have to be very careful about what you do. Goes low, finds the hit, immediate level 3.
Oh.
See what the opportunity is going to be here. Code low on life here. Ooh, that crouching medium kick hit, but no drive rush on it. Oh my god. Oh my. I am so scared. Any hit could do it, and the confirm hunt is tying things up.
that's not a confirm. Why did he say confirm?
I'm glad I get to see the rest of this match.
Why do people say confirm when they are looking at literally unconfirmable things?
I'll adjust the antennas.
Channel 3. Oh. These drive reversals from Huntress, I like the ideas. That she's trying to drive reversal after blocking the EX Cruel Fate, the stabby hand. And it's a good idea, I think, but her timing on it is a little late, so has been blocked and punished a few times now.
Ooh, gets out of that poison.
Oops.
I don't mind the jump in there.
Baffling.
Wild choice from Coefficient, but it worked out perfectly.
You know, as a professional commentator, we call that wild. As a normal human, I say that was random. That was quite a random decision, and you know, sometimes you gotta take that gamble.
Stage aim.
I will say, Koi has barely used Light Serpent Lash
It's like
so far in this match.
Obama says, when I call things interesting, I mean that they're stupid. When I'm like, what an interesting choice, like, you know.
I refer to them as wild and crazy.
And he's not done a ton of like close range cancels from like medium punch to the bubble, the dirty bubble.
And confirm.
Yeah, I'm just.
That was a good jump.
I was just the right height to ride this ride.
He could just commit to like forward heavy kick. They're like a lot of these. There's no reason for him not to. He's not gonna get checked
People make Courage the Cowardly
on
Dog
these
version.
drive
I
rushes.
wonder how many people remember that show.
And look at the change in demeanor from both players. When the chips are stacked, your opponent's one round ahead. I better start zoning. Let's take the cautious approach. Oh no!
I love that she threw EX Fireball there too.
Well, Koi was playing at a range that was too far away for Serpent Lash to reach in the first place. You can't be literally full screen and do Serpent Lash shit. Or sorry, Venomous Fang shit.
Just so low that doing less is really good here. Double driver should be the confirm. I think level 2 for the kill. Level 1.
Yeah. Oh, level 1 isn't enough.
Level 1 is fine.
Baits the throw.
She's not gonna die.
She was easy for the bar.
I know it's Aki, but I don't think Koi has the most optimal combos all the time.
Now I would have my hands in my head like, oh, spend it.
That's
But
what I'm
worked
saying.
out.
It's scary. Overhead. Uh-oh, over the head.
Huge.
Nice anti-air. Her anti-airs are excellent, by the way. Oh, and the confirm.
What a-
Really
Done.
nice stuff. Should
Okay.
be a level 3 for the finish. Huntress clutches it out. Showing why she was that first seed with the most wins in the last slam. Just like that.
Incredible. Maybe it's me, but I feel like there was a little bit too much time spent with the dancing around the fireball. My opponent has level 2. How do I approach? And that, I think, is what opened up the window of opportunity for Huntress to run away with it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. It's interesting to me because it really felt like
Wow. The iPhone's dropping shit.
and as you said,
No.
pulled him into that
No,
fireball.
please.
Oh, don't these fireball games.
JB also could have forced a burnout with a true block string.
And I think you're right. He just kind of got caught up playing the same game as her, and that's like a rookie mistake, right? He stopped playing his game and started engaging with her and what she wanted to do, and she was way more comfortable that way.
And it's a favorable game to
Nice
Chocolate.
confirm. Could have been EX.
Chocolate coming up next. I've been looking forward to this. How is Lily gonna persevere through the Sajam slam?
Don't you feel the same way though? In that Lily, like obviously we know Lily's not one of the strongest characters in the game. She could get it done, right? But I have no idea what his head-to-head is with all the coaches in the slam. Like obviously he almost qualified for Capcom Cup. He got like 3rd in his World Warrior finals. Combo breaker champ. He's a really solid player. So I don't know that I've seen him directly head-to-head with all of the coaches in the slam. So I'm really excited to see his matches.
Yeah, absolutely. As far as Lily as a character,
I can't see how much super he has, but
friend that you have,
he just came off of level 2. I'm assuming he has 0 or 1.
Feel
So
themselves way too hard. Like, yeah, I'm nice, yeah. But like, bro, you're just doing counter-inspiring mixing, bro.
You're hitting crouching heavy punch, bro.
But
You're just-
I mean,
You're
this
literally
is
hitting
really
one button. You're hitting crouching heavy punch. It's a poke. It's an anti-air. It's a buffer. It's a driver's button. Like, bro, you're not gonna impress me.
Let me get some buffs, please. No.
That's what I'm saying. But yeah, she's a real like I think she's like pretty
Right.
good. She's gotten a lot of like pretty reasonable buffs. I think our big problem is
Come
actually
on.
not, like, her as a character, but it's some of the strong characters in the game that are good into her. You know, like matchups like JP, matchups like Dawson.
Yeah.
There are matchups that are just really hard for her, particularly in this version where I think JP is a contender for top 5. JP versus Lily.
Lily.
I mean, yeah.
And
tough.
of course, you got Chocolate as the pilot, an incredible player. Combo breaker, one combo breaker with this character when the new patch just came out. A lot of promise coming from El Chocolate. But we'll see. Shine is no stranger to danger. He's got the head.
Yeah, and I think this is a good patch
30
for
now,
him.
so he's got the boomer maneuvers.
Oh yeah. This is a good patch for Shine though, because you know Chun-Li is better, right? Ed's worse, which is the character he's been playing a lot, but not too bad. Chun-Li's better, and Kimberly's better, and he plays a lot of Kim, right? So.
Alright, this is going to be the interesting part. I want to see how Chocote uses the actual
I think when you
burnout
burn out against
situation.
Lily, you just automatically lose the round. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's.
Okay.
What a frame kill. Did you see?
Yeah.
Look at this uppercut.
Yeah,
Oh my.
there's no way that was intentional.
So it's actually better if I watch your stream. So
He's a cheater, bro. I didn't even that. I've never seen that. This guy's a cheater. My bad.
that's one of the things.
Okay, maybe that was intentional. That's fucking weird. But I don't think that's frame tight though, so.
It's going to catch them off guard.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing about Chakotay is he has a really, really good chance to perform exceptionally against the.
This is
other
an
characters,
interesting matchup, partly
especially
because of the
day of the round robin.
Ed can't
It's
really
like the
do
less is more with him, you know.
his flicker shenanigans, but also Ed's playstyle, like the thing that Ed's strong at that other characters in the game don't get to do as much is playing in this passive
I expect his
drive
coach
gauge
record to be
regenerating kind of
the best,
style, and
to be
that
honest. I think he's someone I expect to perform very well because he's like obviously
like he can
up
hit
to that level,
fireballs
he
from
might
full
not be
screen,
a
even his
character,
his
and
fast
he's a
fireball,
really
but
character
he's not
for
gonna
the
punish you
slam.
that
So
hard
he's just really
if
good.
he
He's real good at
guesses right on the full screen win stock.
The driver versatile, like, it never feels good to spend 2 bars when they spend nothing.
Yeah, and he's getting a lot of mileage out of this level 2. This is one thing that Shine does more than I think most Ed players, to be honest. The level 2 in neutral.
Yep, it helped him reestablish the drive gauge dominance. Now he's way ahead, and throwing his fireballs is going to put him even further ahead. Especially that Lily doesn't have a charged counter spire. She cannot go through these easily.
Yeah, until she has a stock. Oh my, that's huge though. Level 3, and it's CA in the yellow.
All right,
It
I'll
just
be dead.
really
I'm gonna
makes
get a drink.
There's no way it kills. You would know, right?
Oh my god. That was huge damage. And what a read too. He needed to make something happen. He had no win stocks, as you mentioned, right? And Lily without stocks, it's pretty brutal, I think, to play her normal game plan without it. And we're seeing what we talked about here. I think a lot of people, these other coaches, are really going to struggle in this match. I think Chakotay is really really, really solid. He's on an underused character, and he's not someone who plays in as many tournaments, I think, as some other people. So
Why? Whenever Lily's on screen, like half of the commentary throughout the whole match is, well, you actually can play Lily in this game. I mean, she's a character on the select screen. You can play her. You have no fucking opinion about the gameplay.
Such a big threat that it forces them to hold up. So sometimes backdash button is better if you're a grappler. There's a lot of scary things about situations like that.
Right.
I don't like... Okay, I've talked about this with Lily knockdowns a lot. I like delay jump after the light wind counter spire. I don't like... Like, sometimes if they do an immediate jump,
Very, very.
I like that in...
I like what we're seeing here.
when it's mixed between delay jump, but
I think
if they just automatically jump all the time, I think that's actually kind of
if you
weak.
get in and make stuff happen, it's a lot of dream combo time here.
Not quite, but for sure he's going to get the corner, get the pressure. And the oppressive thing about Edge level 2 is that it's halting the recovery on your drive gauge while doing damage to it, and he's building some drive gauge for himself as long as you don't spend none. There's the bounce again.
Huge read. Oh, I love that he just did EX Spire there for immediate. That was really smart. I love the decisions we just saw. Immediate EX Spire, string him up, strip the drive gauge, right? Like, everything about that was perfect.
Yep, this is not looking like a good round for Shine. If he goes defensive, he does a drive reversal to burn himself out. Oh, how's he gonna zone in? There's the plus spring counter spire into the command grab. Guess better, Shine.
Yeah.
Yeah, those spots are
The interesting part of all of these matchups is that...
I don't think I've seen a Lily player lose a round. Oh, big drop. Oh, and doesn't get the punish there. I've never seen like a Lily player get like the burnout and lose a round. Like whenever I watch the really strong Lily players play, like you basically like Hibiki, I never see him lose rounds where he has the burnouts.
Yeah, typically when you play command grab characters, it feels like you're prone to do hard reads, make massive decisions. But when you have your opponent in burnout and you're able to generate plus frames, they have to make the big punishing reads that nobody wants to jump. Nobody wants to jump when Lily has plus frames.
Yeah, and dealing with her Windstock move and Spire. Oh, nice whip punish. This
Yeah.
would be the kill, easy peasy here for Shine.
Dang, the meat kick from Shine. That was incredible. And they nerfed that down heavy punch from Lily. Down heavy punch, the chop move. So it has a more extended hurt box on it, much easier to whip punish. And one of the best whip punishers in the game.
Yeah, if you like playing slow defensive with punishy styles, this character that's him. That's what he does, right? He's the best character to play in this version of the game for that style of play.
Yep, he did get nerfed quite a bit, but he's starting to show back up in the ranks, winning lots of tournaments recently.
Yeah, I think my opinion about him, I'm not sure if you agree, is like he was obviously one of the best in the last match. I think he's still probably in like top 10ish, but a little bit weaker. Very, very clearly a tournament winning character in terms of tier. He's very strong. Nice.
Yeah, again
Yeah.
with the whip punish. Not let him get away with it. That's one of
It's
the
fascinating that his reaction to Drive Rush
linear
is
whip
backdash. You wouldn't usually see that against most matchups, but
long ranges, it's a verifiable outcome.
it allows him to
Punishing.
precisely counter the
We saw there
autopilot.
from,
Drive Rush, crouch, heavy
trying to give
punch,
mini
in a way
space,
that
took the
is
stocks,
very
and
logical.
giving
I
Lily
hate
free
that
stocks
shit.
like
I hate that
full
fucking
screen
forward
would be
jump.
brutal. It's very hard to
It literally just makes your Oki worse. I fucking hate that shit.
be able to kill here, right? Yeah, no meter spent, double EX. Very nicely done. Final game, final round between these two.
Build less drive gauge and makes your Oki worse.
Now it's the RL style.
Literally only works against people who have no idea what
He
is actually
forced that
happening.
drive gauge so consistently because of that Spire mix-up.
Yeah, and it's just resulting in the same thing. The result is Chocotate's getting his charge back, and Shine is just losing his drive gauge.
Yeah. Oh, that's huge though. Back there into the corner. This is a round-winning decision, and the level 3 punish counter. It's gonna remove all that drive gauge. Just a sliver left for Shine here.
And this is a product of that earlier drive reversal. He would have 2 more bars if he didn't get it, but he would have had to guess for the plus frames of the counter spire.
The worst part is.
Why is commentary just saying,
And now he has to run away.
did you know that if you use a drive reversal, you have less drive gauge, but you also don't have to guess?
He's like full screen, getting more stocks, and now he's in burnout.
Like, no shit. Clearly, this is the intentional style. This is the belief.
What we see Ed players doing. Usually they're getting high value in the 360 kills. Like Ed players are usually getting their meter calculated level 2. He's using his level 2 to try to get some meter like.
Is it still best of...
And then
Yeah, it is. Okay.
Spires through it.
Alright. How'd the other ones do? I think all the rest of them are done by this point.
Pretty rough right there. And I have to say, very impressive. I think forcing the issue was a good choice from Shine, especially in the second game we saw that a lot more. But there was a few times where like the positioning kind of slipped away from that she goes to full screen, she gets 3 stocks, and you like the round is so hard to win. 3 EX buyers is all of your drive gauge.
I've always felt that it's such a tough decision to want to drive reversal the enhanced Congress fires. As much as you don't want to address the mix-up, it's digging into your drive gauge, and you can see how it impacted the whole match. Like, as a fan of low forward drive rush myself, it costs a lot of meter to do that, and eventually, if you're not correct with the way you spend your meter, it punishes you in later parts of the round. The Chocote is demonstrating that same thought process with the Congress fire. Using the drive reversal, you lose 2 meters, and then if you don't recover that, or if you're even trying to recover that, it's having an effect on the neutral of the matchup itself.
Yeah, exactly. And like your point to crash medium kick drive rush too. Like if Shine does any offense with drive kick, and then he doesn't get the offense, and then he blocks his fire. Now he's like, do I drive reversal and end up in burnout, and then potentially lose the round, or do I hold the mix, right? And like that kind of decision, both suck. Like neither feels good to you, right? So it kind of feels like you need him to make a mistake first, so that you don't immediately lose your drive gauge. But like I think a player that good is just going to give you mistakes on silver platter all the time. Like,
And not only that, it was the reads from Chocote, the backdashes, the reversal level 3s successfully. Sometimes you just gotta guess better. There's no way you can lab your way out of it other than knowing what options are available to you. Maybe you make an informed decision based on the resources and player tendencies. Still gotta guess. At the end of the day, if you're finding ways to get to that opportunity more than your opponent is, you're more likely to make more correct guesses. That's exactly what I think we saw there.
Exactly. And it's really textbook high level play from both of them. Good adjustments from both of them. Solid match. I mean, those players are both very good. Both had pretty reasonable chances to make it into Capcom Cup, and they're World Warriors this year. They're solid. And they're always fun to watch. I think it's a good match to watch. So that's our first round. It looks like if you do exclamation point score, you can find the scores for the first round. Looks like everything's getting updated. I can show it on screen when we jump into our next match. And we're going to jump into that in just a second here for round 2. But it's looking good so far. Let me pop you in at the bottom. You're down there chilling with me. These are the scores. You can do exclamation point score to find this up there. Obviously see how the results of everything are looking so far and what the team scores are looking like if you want to follow your favorite streamer. If you want to know how their results are on the side here, you can look per group to see who has wins and losses and how's everybody doing. That's going to be on here. It gets updated every 5 minutes or so. I have like a really live version that I'll show on the stream. I'm going to grab it after the match. And yeah, either way, you guys should be good to go knowing the scores. It'll be there for you. Exclamation point score will have it all day long. In my chat room, if you're watching another stream, stop by the Sajam stream, type exclamation point score and bracket and keep listening to that.
Awesome. This is an awesome event. Amazing event, Sajam. Here's my praise.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We're doing our best out here trying to make a good time. Let's see.
Super sick. I'm glad I get to have just a small hand in it again. I feel great pleasure. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, I mean, we're happy to have you. You're awesome at what you do. And I think everybody has a good time working with you. You're a really fun coach to work with. You have a good attitude, and you're excellent at what you do. You're a super great coach. I think at all levels of skill, which is something we really needed to help, because this event is 2 weeks. Crunch as much as you can into your brain, Street Fighter related, and so you got to get the right people in front of them to make it happen. Headwind to learning the video game.
All right. Are we up to new matches yet, or no? They're just wait. Is this practice or is this
Our
real?
next match should be JB versus Brian F, which I'm excited to see these players go at.
Whoa! You mentioned that I'm good at teaching newer players, which I to me, I'm a little subconscious. Like, what do you mean? I'm good at coaching everybody.
I said all levels of
Frodan, Frodan hit me up specifically for that reason. So I worked with him last night or the night before, and yeah, he had nothing but positive feedback as well. Like, I know how to like not really. This is how much plus this move is for, but more so, this is how this works and how you can use it. And then I try to build like different pillars of ideas that eventually lead into each other, and you can find out how the game works. You just you have a powerful tool. It gives you a foundation, and then now what else can you do with this, and how does it lead to?
I talked about this
Fun.
because I did a bunch of sessions with Boxbox where I taught him Street Fighter, and then he went to learn Tekken with PDX, and PDX was like, "Do you know frame data at all?" And then someone was like, "How did Sajam teach you Street Fighter like 4 times?"
Actually,
and you never learned it?